Most people only start taking Naruto seriously way too late in the story. For a lot of fans, Naruto becomes strong during the pain arc, when Sage Mode shows up and everything finally looks flashy and controlled. Before that, people tend to sleep on him hard and treat early Naruto like this clumsy underdog who just keeps getting lucky, and that idea mostly comes from a completely wrong reading of what Naruto's story is actually about. Naruto himself was never talentless. He was bad at specific things, sure, but lacking talent? Not even close. If anything, Part 1 Naruto is one of the most naturally gifted characters in the entire series, just in a way that doesn't look clean or academic. People see Naruto struggling to make a basic clone jutsu in chapter 1 and instantly jump to see he sucks, but that scene is misleading on purpose. Naruto doesn't fail because he lacks potential, he fails because his chakra control is terrible while his chakra volume is completely insane, and that distinction matters a lot, because in that exact same chapter, the moment Naruto learns the Shadow Clone Jutsu, everything changes instantly. He learns a forbidden jutsu in a single night and then produced hundreds, implied to be over 1,000 shadow clones on his first real attempt. That's not hard work paying off over time, that's whole talent finally being pointed in the right direction. And this is where people really don't appreciate what happens in chapter 1. Naruto doesn't just scare Mizuki, he completely stomps him. Mizuki doesn't land a single hit, he gets overwhelmed instantly by a clan arm created by a 12-year-old who wasn't even a ninja a few hours earlier. And yes, Mizuki isn't some kind of top tier monster or anything like that, but he is still a Chunin. He is an experienced shinobi who was strong enough to give Iruka real trouble. Naruto beating him that easily already breaks the normal expectations of the rank system. And it gets worse for the Naruto was weak narrative, because Naruto does all of this in base. There are no nine tails indicators, no red eyes, no chakra leaking, no whiskers getting shorter. This is just Naruto's own chakra pool being abused in the most broken way possible. People love to downplay the shadow clones by saying, yeah, but Naruto himself was weak. That argument completely misses the point. Having 1,000 weaker versions of yourself is still insanely broken. Numbers matter in combat. Even if each clone is individually inferior, overwhelming force is still overwhelming force. Kishimoto himself has admitted that giving Naruto that jutsu so early was a mistake because it made him too strong, which is why Naruto almost never uses that many clones again unless the situation absolutely demands it. And that's not even a headcanon explanation, you can literally see the story avoiding that option. If Naruto used 1,000 clones consistently, several early fights would end immediately. Against the Demon Brothers, for example, there's just no scenario where they surviving being rushed by that many bodies. Even if they take out, I don't know, dozens or even 100, they eventually get buried. The story simply can't function if Naruto abuses that ability constantly. And again, Naruto did all of that without the fucking 90 tails. Then we move into the Lands of Waves arc, and Naruto keeps stacking feats that don't line up with the idea that he is weak. He participates in a strategy that outsmarts Zabuza and frees Kakashi from the water prison. I know, Naruto didn't solo Zabuza or anything like that, but the fact that he could contribute meaningfully in a fight involving a elite Jonin already says a lot about his battle instincts. Naruto is not book smart or anything close to that actually, but he thinks on his feet better than people give him credit for. The Haku fight is where the gap between Naruto's base level and his peak becomes even more obvious. In base, Naruto struggles badly. Sasuke carries most of the fight, but the moment Sasuke goes down, Naruto snaps and the 90 tails chakra comes out for the first time. Suddenly, Naruto is reacting to Haku's speed, overpowering him physically and shattering the mirrors. Zabuza, someone whose fault Kakashi and Livid literally mistakes the chakra for Kakashi's at first, and then immediately corrects himself by saying it's for worse. That alone tells you how high Naruto's ceiling already is. And again, this isn't Naruto learning something new, this is like the power that's been inside him since birthday, so yeah. By the time we reach the tuning exams, Naruto already has a ridiculous resume. In the writing test, he doesn't outsmart a big or anything close to that academically, but he passed the real test, which was resolved under pressure. That matters because the Naruto world consistently treats mental fortitude as a combat stat. Naruto's refusal to quit is not really stupidity, it is exactly what a big wanted to see. In the forest of death, Naruto survives Orochimaru, not run away, not hides, but actually forces Orochimaru to acknowledge him as a kind of threat while using Nine Tails chakra. Orochimaru literally reinforced Naruto's seal because letting him roll freely with that power is dangerous. That's not how you would actually treat a fucking weak genin, so yeah. Even when nerfed by the 5 pronged seal, Naruto ends up carrying the fight against the Rain Ninja when Sasuke and Sakura work like compromised. He's inefficient, sure, but he's still effective. And this is where part 1 Naruto really starts breaking the scale, because once he learns to consciously access the Nine Tails chakra, the gap between him and the normal Jonin becomes laughable. The Neji fights proves that. Neji is a prodigy, hyped as unbeatable, with perfect defense and elite control. Naruto overpowers him directly with how chakra and durability. He doesn't outskill Neji, he overwhelms him, and that distinction matters because it shows Naruto's strength doesn't come from finesse, but from sheer output. And all of this is to setting the stage for what comes next. Once Naruto beats Neji, the idea that he's operating anywhere near a normal Jonin level should already be dead, so yeah, from this point onward, the story keeps escalating his placement whether people notice it or not. Like, the Chunin exams don't get interrupted right after Neji for no reason, they get interrupted because the power levels on display are already spiraling out of control. The Gaara fight is where the discussion about Naruto's actual tier stops being theoretical and becomes unavoidable. Up until this point, you could still work semantics, like you could say, well, Neji is still a Genin, or Naruto just counters him. That argument completely collapses, however, the moment Gaara enters the picture. Gaara at this stage is not just another exam participant, he is a Jin trick with zero emotional restraint, passively killing people without even trying. Multiple Jonin are visibly terrified of him. Sasuke, who had just been hyped as a top tier rookie with the Sharingan and Chidori, gets completely outmatched the moment Gaara starts sleeping, and Naruto steps in anyway. One thing people constantly forget is how the fight even starts. Naruto doesn't use some clever trick, he doesn't set up clones, he just straight up kicks Gaara out of an attempted execution, and this is Gaara partially transformed, already boosted by Shukaku's chakra. Naruto matching him physically at that moment already puts him far above what a normal Genin would actually be able to do in that situation. When Naruto escalates immediately, he doesn't throw a few clones, he throws thousands, like 2,000 shadow clones rushing Gaara at once. This is not subtle, this is not tactical finesse, this is how overwhelming force on a scale that almost nobody in part 1 can even replicate. Even if you argue that Gaara isn't fully transformed yet, forcing him into a full-tailed beast release is already a massive feat by itself. And also Shukaku fully manifests, the conversation changed entirely. I mean, he didn't really fully manifest it, but you know, this is no longer a ninja fight, this is a battlefield level engagement. Massive wind bullets, enormous shockwaves, entire sections of forest being erased. Sasuke, completely exhausted and sidelined, looks at the fight and can even process what he's seeing. This is important because Sasuke has already fought high-level opponents by this point. Even he understands that this is on another level. Naruto summoning Gamabunta is not a side detail too, it's the core of the feat. Gamabunta is not a casual summon. Jiraiya struggled to get Naruto to do it. The chakra cost alone filters out most shinobi in the series. Naruto pulling it off at age 12 mid-battle already placed his chakra reserves above the vast majority of Jonin. I know, saying Gamabunta did the heavy lifting does not downscale Naruto like summons count they always have. I mean, nobody discredits Kankuro because he uses puppets, or like Shino because he uses insects. Naruto's ability to summon and command Gamabunta is his power. Without Naruto, the summon doesn't happen, so yeah. The end of the fight seals it. Naruto transforms Gamabunta, restrains Shukaku, and personally wakes Gaara by force. He doesn't out-hack Shukaku, he doesn't seal him, he beats Gaara mentally and physically. A 12-year-old defeating a fully released tailed beast, even the weakest one, is not a gaining level accomplishment, it is not a tuning level accomplishment either. This is something explicitly reserved for Kage level shinobi or coordinate military responses, and this isn't even Naruto at his most refined state at part 1. Like the search for Chisunade arc reinforced that idea. Instead of turning it down, Naruto learns the Rasengan and Eihan technique in a matter of days, not months, not years, days. Minato took years to develop it. Naruto doesn't invent it, sure, but learning it that fast still puts his learning curve in an entirely different category from untalented, and then he uses it against Kabuto, and yeah, Kabuto is consistently framed as, I don't know, like kind of below Kakashi's level, but still on the same tier. That's not really one interpretation either, that's stated repeatedly in the story, Orochimaru says so, and so on. He's a high tier combatant with insane magical ninjutsu, precision, and experience. Naruto doesn't dominate that fight, yeah, but he absolutely belongs in it. He tanks the mage that should actually be little, immobilized Kabuto through sheer physical force, and lands a point-blank Rasengan that takes takes Kabuto out of the fight. People love to point out that Kabuto was nerfed, yeah, but Kabuto had just been fighting Tsunade, the future 50 Hokage, and was winning. And yeah, Tsunade was actually mental nerfed on that fight, but yeah. Naruto training blows with someone in that tier is already insane for a 12-year-old. Even if you downplay the result, the fact that Naruto can operate in that weight class at all matters. And that brings us to the Sasuke retrievals arc, where Naruto's scaling becomes impossible to ignore. By this point, it's made clear that Naruto and Sasuke are not getting in anything but name. The Sound 4 are stated to be elite operatives capable of killing Jonin, and Naruto's team is expected to deal with them. That alone should actually raise eyebrows. Naruto vs Sasuke at the Valley of the End is not really a small scale duel. It is not a training match, it is a fight between two people who are already operating far above a hang. As the fight progresses, both of them keep escalating. Sharingan evolves, Curse Mark evolves, Nine Tails Chakra escalates. Each new phase completely invalidates the previous one. When Naruto enters the One Tail Clock, his stats jump passively. His speed overwhelms Sasuke's Sharingan, his durability lets him tank direct hits, his chakra becomes corrosive and aggressive. This is not a gaining level, this is not tuning level. It can make a very strong case that at this point Naruto is already a Jonin level in how combat capability, if not higher, and the final clash make that even clear. The scale of the attacks, the destruction caused, and the sheer force involved, this is not something your average Jonin survives. The only reason Sasuke even wins is because he pushes his Cursed Mark to stage 2 and still barely adds Naruto out. It is not a stomp, it is not even a clean win, it's like a razor thin. So where does that leave part 1 Naruto? In base, I would say that early part 1 Naruto fluctuates wildly. On a bad day, he gets butted by, I don't know, a skillet guinea. On a good day, however, he overwhelms Chunin through sheer numbers. That inconsistency is what confuses people. But Naruto is not a linear character, his strength is actually conditional. Once you factor the shadow clones, he's comfortably Chunin level in chapter 1 already. Once you factor in the Nine Tails Chakra, he jumps into Jonin territory instantly. And when you look at his peak feats, against Gaara, Kabuto, this fight at the Valley of the End, you're staring at a character who can absolutely threaten Kage level opponents under the right condition. And I mean, the right condition. That doesn't mean Naruto is strong than every Kage in part 1, even one Kage in part 1. It means his ceiling is there long before people want to admit it. The only things holding him back are control, experience, and emotion regulation, not really power. Naruto was never weak, he was unstable. And if you actually follow the feats instead of the narrative levels, part 1 Naruto is already one of the most dangerous individuals in the entire Shinobi world. People just didn't notice it because he smiled too much and failed too many tasks. If you enjoyed this breakdown and don't want to miss future deep dives like this, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming next.